My name is Jim Jensen. Thank you for watching. The title of this presentation is The Hole in the Ozone Layer. Good news? I suppose you have heard about the problem with the ozone layer. But do you know it's not a hole? And do you know the good news? Well, that's what this presentation is going to be about. I will explain the problem with the ozone. I will talk about the cause and the solution. So let's get started. The ozone layer, as you can see, is part of the atmosphere, and it's 25 kilometers from the surface of the Earth. It's not very thick, but it's important because it blocks ultraviolet light, UV light, and protects the Earth from getting too much UV light. UV is harmful to plants and animals, and it causes skin cancer in humans. In the 1970s, it was discovered that there are areas where the ozone layer is thinning. It's not a hole, it's a thinning, it's depletion. The ozone layer is being depleted, and obviously that's a problem because that will allow more UV light to reach Earth. And there was an increase in skin cancer, cases of skin cancer related to this problem. The problem was greatest in the 1980s and 90s. The cause? Well, it turns out the cause of the depletion of the ozone layer are chemicals called chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs. These are man-made chemicals used in aerosol spray cans and refrigeration, among other things. And what happens is when these chemicals are released into the atmosphere, they float up to the ozone layer and migrate to where it's coldest. So the depletion of the ozone layer is greatest in the polar regions where it's coldest. Well, these chemicals float up, migrate to cold areas, and then react with ozone molecules, breaking them up, causing the ozone layer to become thinner. The solution? Well, since these chemicals are man-made, the solution is to stop making them. And in fact, that happened. Most industrialized countries have banned the production of CFCs, and the results are the good news. This chart shows how, since CFCs have been banned, since the production of CFCs have been banned, the ozone layer is repairing itself. Of course, we do not know how many tons of CFCs are locked away in dumps or landfills, so we don't know what will happen if and when they are released into the atmosphere. But we do know that since CFCs have been banned, the ozone layer is repairing itself. So in conclusion, I just want to say that since we get very little good news about Earth's environment these days, the fact that banning CFCs has led to the ozone layer repairing itself is good news that we should be very happy about. Thank you for watching. At the end of a live presentation, you will be expected to invite questions. You can do that by asking a question yourself. Are there any questions? Or you could make a statement. I'd be happy to answer any questions. And once someone has asked a question, you should acknowledge the question. You could simply say, "That's a good question," or "Thank you for asking that." Some basic things to remember. Know your audience. Prepare with your audience in mind. Consider what they already know, what they may expect, and what you will tell them. Choose an appropriate organizing pattern. Also, practice so you don't have to read. This will allow you to maintain eye contact with your audience and will give you confidence so you can speak loudly and clearly. Also, keep it simple. You do not have to use big words or complicated visual aids. Of course, you should know your audience. Use vocabulary and visual aids that are appropriate to what they can understand or expect. Again, prepare with your audience in mind. Practice with your notes so you don't have to read, and use simple vocabulary and visual aids. These are the basics of an English presentation. Thank you for watching. Comments are welcomed. I will respond to any questions.